So today we're going to be looking at how we trace using an art projector onto a canvas. So I'm a hobby artist and I'm a primary school teacher, so the skills are intertwined. Equally, it's very useful for professional artists. I'm particularly looking at tracing animals, that's what I'm interested in. I'm going to be using a line drawing to be able to do this. Professional artists may be using a picture of a loved one's pet or a commissioned picture that they've got. So we're going to compare three Pico Genie projectors and looking at how each one can be used. So firstly, we're going to use an overhead rig. So the setup that you can see here. In this case, we're using a tripod with a selfie stick, but equally we could use a boom arm. Secondly, we're going to show you how to project onto an easel using a standard tripod. So, the things that we're going to show today: tracing animals using a projector onto a desk and then an easel, how easy it is to use the Keystone setting and go through the menus and the settings, how small and large the image will go to from a tiny little poster if you're wanting to do a really detailed drawing, right up to 120 inches diagonally. We're going to compare the brightness of the three different projectors so you can work out which model would be best for you to use. We're going to look at how you can connect to lots of different products, from wireless to wired, USB, SD card, because you can do it with different projectors. We're going to look at which models you would use with Android and Apple, both wired and wirelessly. And finally, we're going to look at other great uses that you can get from the projectors, because they're not just for art tracing. Netflix is built in, YouTube, looking at the use for home cinema, gaming, business presentations, and so much more. So as you can see in this setup, I'm using a selfie stick on a tripod. That's what I've got available to me. We've got a boom arm that we could use. I'm not using it today just because of the thickness of the table that I'm sat on. But what's really interesting and so helpful is that each of the Pico Genies has got a 1/4 inch thread on the bottom. So the boom arm can go onto there and you can have the projector coming over directly overhead. So lots of different options to use with all three models. So looking at the other two projectors, the Impact 3, I'm just going to compare that to my sized phone. So I've got the Samsung Galaxy Fold, and you can see that the projector is smaller in its front size than that, and we've got quite a small size lightweight projector. And going to the Impact 4, it is the size of my phone there. Again, it's a lightweight projector, speakers are built in. The setup so far that I've had is a standard tripod with standard fitting with our selfie stick that's on here. Obviously the selfie stick is extendable so that we could actually have our tripod on the floor if that was the preferred way of working. And just to recall, the Impact 2, Impact 3, Impact 4 all have this 1/4 inch thread which allows us to connect into the selfie stick or the tripod directly. And then just as a size comparison, my mobile phone next to the Impact 2 Pico Genie, which is the world's smallest projector. It's even smaller than a pack of cards. So we have turned on the projector using the remote control, and we've got the menu. We deliberately got the Keystone out here to demonstrate how we keystone. So the first thing that we do is go to settings using the remote, and then projection settings. It's so simple, projector keystone, and you can see that it's slightly off. So we use the menu function to take it to each corner and use the up, down, left, right to get it exactly how we want it. And then we're able to bring the canvas forward. And then the magic happens. How do we get the picture off the phone onto the projector? So we click back on the menu and we click on this app, eShare. and we have got the website here where you would be able to download that onto your mobile phone. So I've got the eShare app here, it connects, and then you click on mirroring and we can then go into the gallery, and I've got the picture of the cat. I can turn my phone on its side and I'm able to get a full screen image. Set my canvas up, check my keystone, and if I need to alter my keystone I can do, and then I can start tracing. So the projector that we're using is the Pico Genie Impact 2. It's one of the smallest projectors in the world. It's ultralight, really portable, but it is really quite bright and bright enough for tracing even in a bright room such as this. I'm using a Galaxy Fold phone. Equally, could use any Android phone, and I could use an Apple device, and I can use those wirelessly. And you will see, I just need to put those lifelike irises in. And we've got the picture has appeared of our cat. And I've now got something that I'm really pleased with. That is my starting point for painting. So the Pico Genie Impact 2 and 3 have got a global plug. This is the plug for the UK. It's got a pop and twist mechanism, which I can change to Australia, USA and Canada, and to Europe. Equally, I want to show that I've used my Android phone previously. I'm now using my iPad. When I connect my iPad, I can connect it with the wire. When you connect first time, it may come up, trust this device. Yes, we do. We can see the image comes onto screen, and just using your fingers, you can make the image smaller, bigger, whatever suits the size canvas you're using. So this is the Impact 3. It's got all of the same features of the Impact 2, which includes the 480p resolution. This has got 100 additional ANSI lumens, which means it's a brighter projector. Both the projectors so far, we've been working without the wired power into them. So with the wired power, it would be even brighter. Great if you're wanting to use Netflix. And also this has got a really good set of speakers on, again, if you're going to be using Netflix. What's interesting here is it's got auto keystone correction. So we're just going to take you quickly through that menu. So we go to projection settings. We've got the auto keystone. What's also interesting is it's got a vertical keystone on. But what it means is that it's really easy each time you put your canvas out that it will go to an auto correction setting. We are able to connect using eShare, and I've got eShare on my phone. So again, if in doubt, if you haven't put it onto your phone already, it tells you exactly where to visit. There's a QR code or the website, and then you download that onto your phone. I've swapped from using the Impact 2, so I'm e-sharing across to here, and I click mirroring, and then I can go to my gallery, and there we have it. I can just position it on my canvas where I want, pick up my pencil. Artists, we know that you're going to be using a lot more complex and going directly from a pet's photograph to get that desired finished product. So far we've worked with the Impact 2, the slightly bigger Impact 3, that's getting brighter as we go through. So just thinking about that connectivity, which is so important to everyone, because you would be either using Apple or Android. So with Apple, iOS connectivity couldn't be easier. With the 2, 3 or 4 Impacts, we can use an iPhone or an iPad, and we just connect using a lightning cable. Then when we are thinking about the Android, with the Impact 2 and 3, which is what we've been using for, as long as we're on the same Wi-Fi network, then we can just use the eShare app, which we've demonstrated, which is built into the devices. And with the Impact 4, which we'll be demonstrating in a moment, we just use a USB-C cable. All the Impacts 2, 3 and 4 come with an HDMI, so you can connect that straight to your laptop and PC, and crucially, in order to access your media directly, you use the USB port. So as we said, I'm using a simplified line drawing here so that I can get those simple lines in place before I look at painting it. So just as I'm coming to the end of this trace, a couple of top tips on how to keep this in position is you could blue tack the corners on. Equally, you could just draw in your corners so you've got your exact alignment onto the table. So I've got my basic image there that I can start working from. So just to demonstrate, I've now got my iPad cable in there, lightning cable, nice and simple. As it came in, it asks me, do I trust it? I click on trust and there we'll have the image projected. And obviously I've been doing it from a different object there, and you'll see I can move to that different size and go much smaller if we're using a really small picture there, so we get a different effect. And now we're using the Impact 4, and straight away you can tell that it's brighter. It's got a high resolution of 540p and we're working at 500 ANSI lumens, much brighter. Makes that this is suitable for all artists. It also has a unique feature compared to the Impact 2 and 3 that on Android and Apple we can use it wireless and wired. That might be useful where we've got a weaker Wi-Fi signal within the workplace or household. So the Impact 4, it's great for those bigger projects, and remember it's got autofocus for that easy setup. I am connected using the Impact 4 projector and the USB-C to USB-C cable that comes in the box with the Impact 4. It's connected to my Samsung Galaxy Fold 4 phone and it's mirroring straight through. How did I get there? Cable out. Must make sure that when you are connecting with your Samsung phone, that in settings, that you search for DeX, D-E-X, Samsung DeX, and you make sure that DeX is turned off. That is turned off. And then you are able to mirror directly from there.